Prepare for a fascinating exploration into the hidden stories of World War II, a time when history was made by powerful leaders. Our story today centers around one of the most well-known figures of that era, but we won't be discussing battles, politics, or strategies. Instead, we'll explore a hidden facet of Adolf Hitler's life that's rarely explored: his emotions and personal experiences. Adolf Hitler, the infamous leader of Nazi Germany during World War II, is a figure shrouded in mysteries and enigmas. While much has been discussed about his military campaigns, political ideologies, and the horrors of the Holocaust, there's another facet of his life that remains relatively unexplored: his emotional life. Hitler was known for his unwavering commitment to his country, often proclaiming, "Germany is my homeland. I love only my homeland." He presented an image of a man consumed by his dedication to the German nation. But did this steadfast patriotism conceal a more complex emotional world? The most publicized aspect of Hitler's emotional life was his relationship with Eva Braun. Their connection was an open secret, though it retained an air of mystery. It endured for a substantial period, prompting us to wonder, was Eva Braun truly the only woman in Hitler's life? Or did other romantic liaisons exist beneath the surface? Throughout his life, Hitler appeared to have a singular devotion to his political cause and his connection with Eva Braun. However, as we delve into this intriguing topic, we aim to uncover any hidden layers of his emotional life and discover whether there were indeed other women who played a role in the enigmatic world of Adolf Hitler's personal relationships. As we mentioned earlier, Adolf Hitler meticulously guarded the secrecy surrounding his personal relationships. Nazi propaganda painted him as a dedicated leader whose sole allegiance was to Germany, seemingly living a life devoid of love for anyone else and rarely setting foot in his own country. However, in the aftermath of World War II, a trove of documents and photographs came to light, coupled with startling revelations from individuals who had once been strangers. These newfound discoveries unveiled a side of Hitler that had long remained concealed, a side that held secrets previously unknown to the world. Before Adolf Hitler rose to power in Germany, his romantic life was a bit more colorful than one might expect. Prior to becoming the leader of the Nazi Party, Hitler had some brief dalliances with women. Despite his unassuming appearance, there was something about his charisma and intelligence that drew the attention of a few ladies, including two individuals named Fanny and Eva. However, the most intriguing chapter of his early romantic history began during a visit to the studio of Heinrich Hoffmann, a renowned photographer. Hoffmann wasn't just any photographer. He had worked with the German Air Force during World War I and was a well-known journalist. His home was a hub of artistic gatherings and parties, where he frequently hosted various creative personalities. It was within this social milieu that Hitler became a regular guest, and it was there that he first encountered Hoffmann's daughter, Henriette. In the beginning, it was simply admiration, with Hitler seemingly captivated by her and she by him. The precise catalyst for this attraction remains a mystery, but what is clear is that their feelings for each other deepened over time. Hitler became a regular presence at their home, and he often arrived accompanied by her. It was evident that their relationship had transitioned into a romantic one. When he left their home, their connection didn't end at the doorstep. Instead, it continued with his arm around her waist, much like any affectionate couple. However, this romantic liaison met a premature end. Why, might you wonder? They were genuinely in love, but a significant development occurred that prompted Hitler to terminate the relationship. She presented him with a document, an official marriage certificate, as she had decided to marry another man named Shaw, a prominent figure in Nazi youth organizations. What adds to the intrigue is that Hitler not only accepted the invitation but also attended her wedding. The true reason for the termination of this relationship remains shrouded in mystery. It's possible that her family and father grew concerned about Hitler's ambitions, suspecting that he might be eccentric or erratic enough to marry their daughter. Alternatively, the substantial age difference between them could have played a role, as Hitler was in his 40s while she was just in her 20s, making her family uneasy about the age gap. Now, let's turn our attention to the second woman in this tale, Maria Reiter. She is less renowned among those familiar with Hitler's romantic involvements, and indeed there is a dearth of sources discussing their relationship. So, how did this narrative surface, given the limited available information? Maria Reiter herself left behind documented letters with Hitler, making her the sole chronicler of this chapter in history. With her testimony alone, skeptics might have dismissed her story as a fabrication. However, what gives more credit to her story is the corroboration provided by Hitler's own sister Paula, who confirmed the existence of the relationship. Additionally, several letters authored by Maria have come to light, providing further evidence of their connection. But what sets Maria's account apart is her candid discussion of Hitler's sexual life, a subject that had long remained shrouded in mystery. In fact, this aspect of his life had given rise to speculations and accusations, with some people even questioning whether Hitler was entirely devoid of sexual activity. It is worth noting that Hitler held a deep aversion to homosexuality, which only added to the enigma surrounding his own romantic life. The reason behind Hitler's secrecy surrounding his romantic relationships and the limited knowledge about them can be traced back to his unwavering dedication to a singular goal. Even in his youth, Hitler was driven by a clear objective: to restore Germany's honor and elevate it to a position of unparalleled power on the global stage. This all-encompassing ambition left little room for public displays of romance or open discussions about his emotional life. Hitler's focus on this overarching goal meant that he refrained from engaging in public romantic relationships and maintained an air of mystery around his personal life. For those unfamiliar with his aspirations, it's crucial to understand that from a very early age, Hitler harbored a resolute determination to transform Germany into the world's preeminent nation. To achieve this vision, he deliberately kept his romantic involvements clandestine, even when they evolved into long-term relationships. This allowed him to safeguard his lover's privacy while preserving the secrecy surrounding his personal affairs, all in service of his grand ambition for Germany. Hitler's encounter with Maria occurred when she was a mere 16 years old, working as a saleswoman in her father's shop. It was during this initial meeting that Hitler's interest was piqued, and he initiated their first date with the intention of developing a more intimate connection. However, Maria initially rebuffed his advances, asserting her desire to be left alone. Angela Raubal played a pivotal role in this narrative. She bequeathed one of her properties, the Berghof Palace, to Hitler. Within Angela's family were two daughters, Frieda and Gaily. Gaily, born in 1908, pursued her education at a school located in the town of Linz, setting the stage for a crucial chapter in Hitler's personal history. In the year 1925, during a school trip to Munich with her classmates, Gaily had a fateful encounter with Adolf Hitler, her famous uncle. This meeting would go on to significantly impact her life in the years that followed. Gaily was renowned for her striking beauty, possessing a well-proportioned figure that caught the eye of many. She also possessed a unique talent for composing poetry in the Austrian dialect, which added to her charismatic charm. With her chestnut-colored eyes and an innate interest in music and art, she was indeed an intriguing individual. However, some individuals characterized her as not particularly intellectually inclined. Upon the completion of her formal education, Gaily revealed her aspiration to pursue a career in singing and stage performance. To her surprise, her uncle, none other than Adolf Hitler himself, stepped forward to support her dreams. He facilitated her pursuit by arranging for vocal lessons in Munich, and even provided her with an apartment in close proximity to his own residence. Such a high level of involvement in her life naturally led to speculations and raised eyebrows. It was, after all, quite unusual for an uncle to maintain such a close connection with his niece's career aspirations. Adolf Hitler's fondest memories often revolved around spending quality time with Gaily. He cherished their walks together and their outings to the opera. These moments suggested a genuinely close and affectionate bond between them. However, there was more to Gaily's personality than met the eye. She had a somewhat rebellious streak, and secretly, she engaged in a romantic affair with none other than Hitler's chauffeur, Emil Maurice. Notably, Maurice was considered one of Hitler's trusted confidants. It's essential to note that Gaily and Maurice's engagement was not a public affair. Instead, they deliberately kept it concealed from the prying eyes of others, maintaining a shroud of secrecy around their relationship. Now, let's explore what happened after the heartbreaking loss of Gaily Raubal and the series of events that followed. It seems that Gaily's romantic involvement with Hitler had already concluded, and she had moved on to meet other people. These new acquaintances included an artist, a singer from Vienna, and a violinist. It's as though Gelly was embarking on a journey to explore different experiences and relationships after her time with Hitler had come to an end. But on September 17, 1931, there was an ordinary meeting between Hitler and Gelly, with no apparent signs of anything unusual. However, shortly after this meeting, Hitler headed to Nuremberg for a meeting with fellow party leaders. The next morning, he seemed perfectly fine to those around him. As he left the hotel in his car, another car began tailing closely behind. The hotel manager approached Hitler, claiming that he had an urgent phone call from Munich. Hitler reluctantly returned to the hotel, where he was handed a note with the word "stehen," meaning stand or stop. Then Rudolf Hess, one of his close associates, delivered the devastating news. Gelly had passed away, and Hitler needed to return to Munich immediately. Gelly's passing was initially thought to be a case of suicide, and Hitler received the news with profound shock. Upon his arrival at his Munich residence, he found the police already there, conducting their investigations. Gelly's lifeless body was discovered in her room, prompting the authorities to look into the circumstances surrounding her tragic demise. The account indicates that Hitler was deeply emotionally affected by Gelly's untimely death. The police questioned those who were present at the apartment during that time, including her governess, the housekeeper, and some of Hitler's close associates. However, due to his high-ranking position as the leader of the Nazi Party, Hitler himself was not subjected to questioning. Ultimately, the official investigation determined that Gelly Raubal had taken her own life, but the details of the situation remain a topic of ongoing debate and speculation. Gelly's tragic and mysterious death left a lasting impact on Hitler and is regarded as one of the most somber episodes in his personal history. Now, a question for you. Why do you think Gelly ended her life? Or did someone else do it? Share your thoughts and answers in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Also, never forget to subscribe. Until next time.